that our leadership is corrupt. When we hear all these things, we start asking ourselves, what kind of a country do we live in? I do want you to ask that question, but not from a negative standpoint, but from a positive standpoint. What can we do about it? When you walked into this auditorium, you must have read the Swami Vivekananda quote that is pasted outside, which says that my faith lies in the younger generation, the modern generation. Out of them will come the lions who will solve these problems. They'll work out these problems. We are the people who Swami Vivekananda imagined to be the modern generation. Just compare that to the newspaper stories that you read, to the television news that you watch. Every single time we want to criticize something, we use the word modern generation. That is exactly the term that Swami used, hoping that the glory of this nation will come through the modern generation. So what does that modernity mean? That modernity means the highest level of Shraddha. That is dedication. Dedication to your work, dedication to your studies, dedication to your family, and dedication to this great nation. What does that mean? It means seva. Service to people around you. Service to people who you see every day, but a lot of times fail to even understand what they are undergoing. This is the time when we don't just celebrate 125 years of a speech, those words as words. We start practicing that in real life. And let's start with the first few words. Sisters and brothers. This is high time that when other people's pain begins to look like our pain, when we feel the pain of those who are in hospitals and cannot pay their bills, those who are not in schools but deserve to be there, those who are affected by floods and other sorts of natural disasters. We need to start feeling the pain of other people. We need to start participating in the happiness of other people. And we need to truly start behaving as sisters and brothers in this country that has shown the path to so many and will continue to show the path to so many who will come in after us. When Swami Vivekananda was delivering this speech in Chicago, the first Prime Minister of this country was only 4 years old. Gandhi was still not somebody who had flourished into a Mahatma. There were patriots around this country who were still wondering if we will get independence. The proud flag that saluted it. The proud flag that makes us feel so emphatic about being Indians was still being designed somewhere and still could not be unfurled on the red fort because we're still a colony. But look at how much has changed. In 1897, Swami Vivekananda stood up and said, I see that in 50 years' time this country will get independence. Some of our greatest freedom fighters and patriots said that their love for this motherland grew manifold when they first read the teachings of Swami Vivekananda. Post 1947, we are a nation some 70 years young, but a civilization thousands of years old. We cannot forget either of the two facts. We cannot forget that we are 70 years young as an independent nation, and there is so much work that we need to put in from different parts of this country, from different offices in this country, and from every single citizen who's a part of this land. The second thing we cannot forget is that we are a civilization thousands of years old. We have got the world so much. They say the world is trying to find life on different planets. We have found life and the meaning of it within us. We have talked about the highest principles, the highest planes of spirituality in this country for the longest period of time. 70 years post-independence, we carry the legacy of the proud tricolor at the Red Fort. And we carry the responsibility of the patriot monk who represented this country, reintroduced this culture, and gave the world something to look at. The world is looking. The world looks at us. When a small child from the coast of Rameshwaram gives this country internal security and highest level of leadership as the president of this country, Dr. Kalam. This nation is introduced to the world. When our youngest kids and our oldest men and women, when our monks and mystics go on and lead the world, when it comes to science, when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to sports, or when it comes to coming together as one people, But remember, the world is also looking at us. When within this country, we have useless debates. The world is looking at us. When within this country, there are so many kids who cannot go to school. So many people who cannot afford a good quality life. So what are we basically talking about? We are talking about bringing those words to life one more time. 125 years later, be reminded of the responsibility that we owe to our motherland. If you are a parent, it is your responsibility to raise your kids as patriots who know that they receive from you. This love needs to go on and serve this country. That same love needs to be reciprocated in their life as citizens in this nation. What does this country need at this point? As students, the school that we go to and the television that we watch, the distance is not too much. The problems that the television shows, your school education can solve, your college education can solve that. So it is time now that we stop complaining and move on from being a complaining generation, from a bickering generation, from a fence-sitting generation that sits on the fence and watches everything as it goes on. It is time now that we become a problem-solving generation. It is time now that we become parents who know that it is not to get our kids into school, but it is also important to get into their minds the ideas of Shraddha and Seva. As students, we need to know that it is not just important to go from school to college, but also to ask what goes on inside the mind and heart and how can we control it the best. As citizens, as officers, as servants, as volunteers, wherever we are working, we need to know that there is a sister who needs our help. There is who needs our help. And all the pledges that we do, all the anthems that we sing, the patriotic songs that fire us up and we start feeling so patriotic. Remember that the same national anthem, there's a child somewhere in this country who did not have enough to eat in the morning, who does not probably go to school, who does not probably live the kind of lives that we live, but even that child stands up to our national anthem with the same kind of patriotism. There is someone somewhere in this country. There is someone somewhere in this country. That person may not have slippers when they walk. They may not have everything that we can imagine as the basic things that you need in life. But the moment they see the tricolor, they salute it. We need to respect those people who stand up to our national anthem. We need to serve those people. We need to respect those people whose first reaction when they see our proud national flag is that they salute it. The question is, what do we do for them, despite all the privileges that we get? Be it a good education, a good house, the ability to speak or to lead or to serve. The responsibility is bigger. Remember, 125 years later, you and I will be alive those times. We will still be celebrating the 250th anniversary. Responsibility that what will change in the next 125 years. We still have from a state of Bihar, which was known in the last several decades as a state that was known for crime and corruption, and still is today stereotyped in a lot of discourses. Will we still have a young child standing here or a young person standing here and talking about the problems that we have and we need to solve these? Or 250 years of this speech, we imagine a civilization that will truly lead the world. Let's pledge that in our lifetimes, as parents, as students, as teachers, and our patriots, let's make it our call that 125 years later, celebrate the 250th anniversary of this speech, we'll celebrate India. And we'll celebrate it. And we'll celebrate it as the patriot monk had imagined, leader of the world, as the Vishwaguru, as a mother of all civilizations, as a leader in science and spirituality, leader in happiness and prosperity, as a leader that will not just tell its citizens that we are sisters and brothers of India, but also sisters and brothers of the world. So there's a responsibility that calls upon us. And I want to let you know, in the final few moments before I conclude, that there's a child somewhere in this country who has it in him or in her to be the next Vivekananda in some field. May not be in the entire mass, but you look at President Kalam. Swami Vivekananda himself had said that he will continue to come back. He'll be voice without form. When you hear President Kalam speak, when you see his work, when you see great patriots in this nation, you know that Swami, you know that his words and his teachings live in them. So what stops us from seeing kids who are in our classrooms today as the next Vivekanandas? What stops us from teaching our kids, raising our children as people who are growing the dreams that Swami Vivekananda laid out for this country? And remember, he didn't just have a dream. He just didn't have a vision. He empowered us with what we need to do as individuals, what we need to do as educational institutions, what we need to do as officers and leaders and servants. He laid that out. There's no country that is so blessed with a framework that can take it to glory as India is. And we thank Swami Vivekananda on this day for that. So let's go back from here. And instead of just celebrating, instead of just clapping, instead of just remembering Chicago and the speech and the applause, let's start asking ourselves, are we keeping him alone? Keep his pride and glory up there, as he kept our pride and glory up there in Chicago and in the rest of the world. Because that is the question we need to ask ourselves every time. I ask a lot of young people, when you think, and they say that when this country was not independent, he rose and shone as our pride. The question is, just like he decided to rise and shine for us, just like he became our pride and our glory, to serve in every way possible to his orations. It's just that we need more of that. Last evening, I had the great to protect our shores, protect our borders, and even protect our out there. Within whom perfection already lies. And the idea of a great monk said was a manifestation of that perfection. That task remains with us. So go out there and start enabling young people to manifest the perfection that is within them. Go out there and serve people around you, because the entire mission that he founded, remember Ramakrishna Mission and they were not, the organization was not founded by, none of the monks went to Harvard Business School. They did not go to top MBA programs in the country or the world. Around 12 brother disciples who came together, and today over 200 countries in the world continue to rise and shine with the idea of Atmana Mokshartham Jagatitaya, for the salvation of self and well-being of humanity. So take that idea of Atmana Mokshartham Jagatitaya and go out there and serve your fellow beings, serve your parents, serve your family, most importantly, serve this country as you serve the world. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir, for inspiring us. This message of yours will enable us to take up the responsibility and be the change. As sir said, our greatness is in being able to read ourselves and find ourselves in this. Thank you very much, sir, once again. Swamiji will now present a memento as a token of love and respect to our beloved guest. Many patriots inspired by the message of Swami Vivekananda. Not just belonging to India but all over. So let's hear the words of those patriots, what they learned or what they